If you can sit through this video, I am going to give you the number one and the only thing that you need to know to get in the shape of your life. Understand this, the internet is full of opinions. There's loads of things that cannot be argued. That is 110% correct. But understand this, what one person says compared to another doesn't mean that person's wrong and that person's right. People have ways of going about things, but if you understand that you can use the rule of first principles to get in shape, then you will get in shape. Okay, what I'm trying to say here is, a lot of people say the best way for fat loss is carnivore. Is it? Or is that just an opinion? In my opinion, that's just an opinion. The best way to lose weight is to do calories in, calories out. Understanding that hormones come into play. Yes, I understand, okay, I understand. But, like, it's the most simplest way for a human being to lose weight. People say, oh, I've done that though, but it's not worked. No, you've miscalculated and it's not worked. It's not the fact that you've actually done this correctly and it's not worked, because that your human body, it biologically does not work. Okay? So, what we're going to look at today is this. So give me a second while I write this out, and excuse me for how I hold my pen. I've done this for years, okay? So I've learnt this. I've learnt this from a guy that I've watched for a long time, using first principles. I use this when it comes to my business. I use this when it comes to just dealing with situations in life. I use this when it comes to, for example, fitness, etc. If you see any spelling off, by the way, don't come for me. But anyway, so understand this. You need to start working in a way where things cannot be further argued, okay? So for example, if you want to build muscle, then resistance training is going to help with that, or it's going to promote it. That is a point that cannot be further argued. Eating less food on a daily basis will help you reduce weight. That cannot be further argued. Eating protein is the macronutrient to help you build muscle. That cannot be further argued. So when it comes to prioritizing your health and you're trying to get in shape, work with the principles that cannot be further argued. So we're going to look at an example. Let's take an example. We're going to use someone. We're going to say it's called, hopefully you can see this. Hopefully you can see this. You should be able to see this. We're going to take James, okay? This is James down here, okay? James is overweight, okay? James is overweight. What James wants to do is go to a point where he loses this weight and he tones up muscle, okay? So, how do we get James from here? We'll call this overweight. And how do we get him to a point up here where he's not overweight? He's not overweight. Slash, he's about... No, you know what? We'll just keep it simple. How do we get him to the point from where he's overweight to not overweight? What is this bit in the middle here? Well, a lot of people would first instinct would be going to YouTube. How do I lose weight? Then they get bombarded with, for example, you need to go on the carnivore diet. You need to cut out you need to cut out carbs. You need to only do cardio if you want to lose weight. Weight training is not going to work. These are all random things that have come off the top of my head. Okay, it's not what I'm saying as a fact. But this is the problem in today's world. It's full of goddamn opinions. It's full of goddamn opinions, which is going to mislead you in absolute MF. Okay? So, why not we make this as simple as we possibly can? So James is overweight, and now he wants to be not overweight. He wants to lose the weight. Okay? And let's say James needs to lose 20 kg to get here. Okay? Let's say he needs to lose 20 kilo of excess fat on his body that he no longer wants. The next question becomes, how do you lose this 20 kg? So we went from James is overweight, now he needs to lose 20 kg. So that 20 kg is now fat. How do you lose 20 kg of fat? Let's make this dead simple, and we're using first principles here. Do you need to go on a carnivore diet to lose 20 kg? You do not. Do you need to cut out carbohydrates to lose 20 kg? You do not. Do you need to cut out all of your favourite foods to lose 20 kg? You do not. Trust me, I promote a very healthy diet. I want you to be eating like 80% of the time very healthy. Or like, who am I tell you what to eat? But anyway, you get what I mean. And if I was to advise you, I would say eat 80% of the time, I meant to say, a very strong, clean diet. But do you need to do all these things to lose 20 kg? You do not. You don't. What would be the first step to this? Understanding, and let's make this very simple, understanding you need to eat less food. The amount of food that you're eating on a daily basis, James, I'm talking to you, the amount of food that you're eating on a daily basis is continuously making you be 20 kg over the weight that you want to be. Okay? So, all you would do, and this cannot be further argued, it cannot be further argued. All you need to do, James, is all you need to do is reduce the amount of food you're eating on a daily basis to start, and doesn't mean completely lose, but to start losing that 20 kg. So what would that look like in a day of James? Well, that look like, it's very simple as this. He has 4 meals per day. He cuts out 1. That 4 meals per day is keeping him where he's at. If he's not gaining weight, okay, if he's not in that process of gaining weight, but most people's scenario, they may be fluctuating 1 to 2 kilos around a certain weight where they're overweight. But let's say he's eating 4 meals per day that's kept him that weight for the last 12 months. All he needs to do is cut out that bedtime snack, then naturally your body will start to decrease in weight. Then from there, James will hit a plateau because his body would then adapt to those 3 meals. So then what does James do with those 3 meals? He reduces the portion size with those 3 meals. Then continuously does that, not down to the point where he's eating nothing, but to the point where he's eating a maintenance level of food that suggests 20 kg later. I hope that makes sense. So let's make it make sense. Let's say James is 90 kg overweight and he wants to get down to 70 kg. He needs to then shift his calorie intake, or food intake as you will, down to what you need for 70 kg. And the simplest way to do that is tracking your calories. It might be boring, it might be very frictional, but it is the simplest way to do it if you want to get results as fast as you can, okay, even though it's a time again. But the conclusion to what I was saying is keep things goddamn simple. All you need to do is work with first principles. I want to lose weight. Okay, James, you want to lose weight. How do you lose weight? Well, I know I need to eat less. Boom, there you go. There's a start. Do you need to go into the gym and lift heavy weights, do loads of cardio? No, you don't. These things will help. They'll help with muscle toning, etc. It's going to help you burn more calories. But do you need to do all these things? No. So, what am I trying to teach you from this video? What I would love to see you do is when you have a goal in mind for your body, work with first principles. So, let's take me, for example, very quickly for the end of the video. I am 83 kilos. I'm very lean, I like to think. And I've got good muscle definition, but I want to get bigger at the definition I have. What do? Very, very simply, I need to eat more food. Let's keep it simple. Don't get me wrong, there's loads of ins and outs on how to do this, but this is a start. I'm trying to explain to you, you do not need to follow all these crazy diets online, okay? If that's your way of wanting to do it, if you feel great on carnivore, then I suggest you go on carnivore. If you feel great where you prioritize mainly proteins, you have a bit of carbs, a bit of veg, etc., then great, you go do that. You do what works for you. But always start with the things that cannot be further argued. I really do hope this helps, and I hope to see you back on the channel soon.